Hi there, Dr. Vicki Lemfer here with the Shift Happens channel, where we inspire growth and achieve greatness. Today, we are going to talk about letting go and manifesting all your desires. So that seems really simple, right? But we get kind of messed up on letting go. We try really hard. Well, I'm going to let you know of some techniques that have worked for me, and I want to see if this works for you as well. So go ahead and comment, share, like, and subscribe. That's how we get our message out. I'm here to help you. You're here to help me. We're all in this together. I want to build a community so we can all support one another. So let's get to it. Letting go seems to be, everybody says, let go, and and you think you do sometimes, but then all of a sudden, you might even be looking in the 3D, the outside world, for validation or evidence to let you know that you're on the right track. And this can be helpful. Believe me, I am looking for things too, right? But we know deep down that we create our reality within, and it always begins and ends with you, right? And so sometimes when the 3D or a circumstance or an event or a person causes us to think, gosh, it's not even close, like, our three big topics are money, love, and health, right? And so you're doing all the techniques and all the processes. You're affirming, visualizing, and acting as if you are that person, right? And you think you're going along pretty well. And then something happens that looks like, oh gosh, it's not happening. It's contrary to what I'm trying to do. And I've been such a good person. I am doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. And why is this happening to me now, right? And of course, every coach will say, well, there's a negative, limiting belief. You are creating it. The 3D is mirroring what you're feeling inside, which is all true, right? But no one really wants to hear it when you're dealing with it, right? So, and I get it, because I'm frustrated at times too, where I'm like, man, dude, I thought I was doing everything right. And then, something comes out of the blue and I'm like, really? Does this really work? Well, it does. It works every time. It's working right now. But one thing that's really worked for me, and I'm going to let you in on a little secret, and you want to stay to the end, and I'm going to offer a free brochure to help you on this guided tour of being able to manifest and let go. One of the things I found is that when you encounter a negative situation, what I do is accept it. Now, some people will say, you accept it? Well, then that means you're giving up and you're allowing the 3D to tell you what's happening. And because we know that this is the cause and 3D is the effect. And so sometimes when I say, you just got to accept the 3D experiences, you got to accept the circumstances the way it is. And people are like, wait a minute, that means the circumstance is causing you to have an effect. And it's like, no, not really. What's happening is when you accept it as one possibility out of infinite possibilities. And you might want to grab my book, because I talk about the empowering beliefs, and that is one of them, the infinite possibilities and pathways to solutions and success. And I talk in depth about that. But for right now, you just have to know that there are infinite possibilities. And that circumstance that you encountered was just one. So you can accept it. And once you accept it, once you accept things, you really let things go. And I'm telling you, that is the key to letting go and surrendering and just allowing the universe to take care of it. And that's the other piece of it. When you accept it, you just like, that's one possibility. And then you know what I do? I go right back into my little head and I say, I'm going to create a better ending to that story. Instead of, let's say I am going to buy a house. And I was thinking, gosh, I'm going to be able to afford a pretty nice house. And then I go through the process and realize, maybe I can't quite afford what I really want right now. So then I think, well, this isn't working. I'm not getting what I want right now. there's a couple things, and this has actually happened to me. So I looked at it as lack, and I was focusing on the lack. Oh my gosh, I wanted, let's just put a number of, I don't know, $500,000 house, right? Let's say I wanted that. And then all of a sudden, I feel like I'm doing all the processes. I am going to get this. I feel it. I'm looking at homes, and then all of a sudden I go through the loan officer, and they're like, "Oh, guess what? You can't. You're not. You can't afford a $500,000 house." And you're like, "Well, this stuff doesn't work." And so, and it comes up a couple $100,000 short of what you really wanted. So then you have to put a different story. You accept it. Okay, that is what's happening right now. That's one possibility in infinite possibilities. So then I get the power to change that story. Now, I didn't change it like, oh, I'm gonna just ignore that and go 500,000, because really, what I did was I just changed the story like, well, I'm gonna have this house, and look at all the money I'm gonna have outside of that house to be able to fix it up and then be able to rent it. And that will give me passive income, and it'll eventually get me to the place that I need to be. And really, it all works out. But if I didn't have that story going, and if I kept focusing on that, oh my gosh, I came up short, I'm never gonna get something nice. And you think of all the things that would go wrong with a lesser priced house, instead of looking at that lesser priced house and going, you know what, this is temporary, and it's gonna allow me to maintain my lifestyle and then more. Isn't that what you want? Instead of going for the higher priced one and being what they call house poor and not being able to shop, because I really like to shop. And so it still afforded me to allow me to do what I needed to do. And I knew it was temporary. I knew I was only gonna live in that house for a year or two, and then use it as a property, which was one of my long-term goals, is to create a diversified portfolio with properties involving in my portfolio. So, long story long, accept the 3D circumstances. Okay, somebody comes up to you and says something really mean. Maybe you have an issue with a coworker and you feel like you've done a lot of processes to have peace with that coworker, and then the coworker comes back and starts, and it's like, you accept them. I understand, you're on your own path. That is one version of you. I'm gonna change that. And I'm gonna continue to do my processes, send you peace and love, and look at you with peace and love. It doesn't matter if it's a person, a place, or a thing. It's a circumstance, an event. It doesn't matter. Whenever you're faced with that challenging moment, you look at it and say, okay, I understand. That's one possibility. That's one pathway. And that's many infinite possibilities and pathways. So I'm going to change the story, and I'm going to accept it. I'm going to change the story, and I'm going to keep going on the high vibe. And once you let that go and you allow the universe to take care of the how, when, and where, it's easy, right? It is that simple. So let go and manifest all of your desires. I am your host, Vicki Lemfer, and this is the Shift Happens channel. Again, I thank you for all of your time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how you're doing. This is a great way to get my message out, and I'm here to help you. You're helping me just as much as I'm helping you. So until next time, love ya. Bye-bye.